guys, and welcome back to another weekly meal prep video. So in this video guys, I thought I would take you along with me as I go ahead and prepare a few dishes for the week ahead. Now it is super early Sunday morning for me in real time. Typically my goal is to get downstairs by 6:30, 7 at the latest, to go ahead and get started on my meal prep for the week. I do a few things in the kitchen, head out to CVS, get my couponing done because I got to get my deals, and then back home to finish off some meal prep before we head out for church. First up, I'm going to go ahead and get some bacon going because who doesn't love bacon? I'm doing bacon for the kids to have for breakfast this morning, and then also enough for me to have throughout the week as well. Then from here, I like to go ahead and get my Sunday's lunch done if I need to prepare anything. Typically, we end up with some leftovers from the week, so I can go ahead and serve that on a Sunday. However, this particular Sunday, we actually needed something to be made up. And then I will go ahead and get my dinner going as well. Typically, I do crock pot meals on a Sunday. It's just easier for us. We have so much going on. Me getting out early in the morning to do couponing, and sometimes I get out later in the afternoon to do some couponing as well. And just, well, Sunday just meant for family and relaxing. So if I cannot cook, or if I can help it and not have to cook as much on Sunday, then I aim to do that outside of my meal prepping, of course, which this typically will take me anywhere from 2 hours to 2.5, just depending on what dishes we're actually making. And honestly, because I am filming this, it adds on about an additional hour because, well, you gotta let the camera rest, gotta let the battery charge, all that stuff there. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get the lunch going for the kiddos. They're going to just have Sloppy Joe sliders. I had some ground turkey that I needed to use up, so I'm using that. I seasoned my ground turkey with just a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, and some seasoning oil. And then I'm just going to use some canned mix for the Sloppy Joe. Now I have some sliders. There's some Hawaiian buns, and I'm just going to cut those in half. Place my cheese on the bottom, layer it up with the Sloppy Joe mix and the meat, and then add cheese on top. Cover it, set it to the side, and once we come home from church, then I'll go ahead and put it in the oven, and it'll be ready to go and serve up, most likely with some fruit and probably some potato chips for the kiddos. Alright, so next dish up, I'm going to go ahead and get the pork chops for the hubby and I to have for breakfast today, and the pork chops that we will have for dinner. I'm going to go ahead and get those going. Now guys, let me tell you, these pork chops were the bomb. They were everything and some. I picked these up on markdown at Kroger I don't even remember the price. I think it was like maybe $2 or so for a 2 pack of pork chops. And then the huge pack of family pork chops was like $10. Anyways, absolutely delicious. So for the hubby and I seasoned my pork chops with a little bit of salt and black pepper for one. The other, I did salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and just did a dry rub all over the pork chops. I let all of my meat sit and marinate overnight, and that is true for all the meat that you will see me cooking in this particular meal prep video. Let it sit overnight, and then I'm just going to sear them up in the pan, adding some oil to the pan and then a little bit of butter. Well, actually I added a lot of butter, and I'm using the Kerrygold butter. And then I'm just going to take them and put them in the oven to let them cook through all the way. Guys, absolutely delicious. I mean, my entire world has been changed with this whole ketogenic lifestyle of eating. I have never thought to have a pork chop for breakfast, but after going to Vegas and we ate pork chops for breakfast maybe 3 days in a row, OMG, like that is my go-to meal for sure for breakfast. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sear the pork chop on both sides for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'm going to place them in the oven, let them cook at about 350 degrees for roughly 10 to 15 minutes, or until they look like they're pretty much done. Then the pork chops that we're going to have for dinner, I'm going to go ahead and coat those with some barbecue sauce. And let me tell you guys, they just were, oh my goodness, so freaking delicious. Yum, yum, yum. The pork chops that the hubby and I had for breakfast, I ended up putting a fried egg on top of it. And I mean, I'm in love. It was just absolutely delicious. And honestly, it was so much, I did not finish all of my pork chop. And that's probably mainly due to the fact that I did have a nice fatty keto coffee as well. As I was cooking up, I was sipping on my coffee. But back to the cooking. Now with the pork chops that are going to be for dinner, I pulled them out of the oven, coated them with the barbecue sauce, and then I put them back in the oven underneath the broil for about maybe 5-6 minutes, if that. Just that way the barbecue sauce go ahead and get all coated on them. And y'all, I'm telling you, they came out absolutely delicious. I just used a simple, I believe it may have been Baby Ray's sweet honey barbecue sauce, but just a simple generic barbecue sauce. It was not keto friendly. However, just a tad bit would not kill you, but it was absolutely delicious. Alright, so changing tunes for a second, I have a little fur baby giving me the stink eye because, well, her stomach is touching her back. So I'm going to go ahead and fix her some scrambled eggs, and I'm going to do quite a few. That way we have some for the next couple days for breakfast for her. Now with her scrambled eggs, I typically throw in spinach just to give it a little bit of more fluff. Spinach is, of course, packed with so many different nutrients for us humans as well as our fur babies. And, well, she seems to actually love her spinach and eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and make this up for her, and then I'll be back on the meal prepping train. so for breakfast for the kiddos, I'm going to do fried eggs on the sheet pan, and they'll have this with bacon and some fruit as well. Now, this is the first time that I'm doing fried eggs this way. I didn't like it. Let me say that. They cooked up just fine, but I found that the yolk was a little bit too hard. So I don't know, maybe I left them in for a little bit too long. I cooked them right about, I want to say 8 minutes or so. Let me know if you ever cook the cooked eggs like this on a sheet pan, and let me know how they turned out and how long you let them cook for. I think the next time I do it, I may not leave them in for so long. But I mean, it was a quick way to go ahead and get a ton of eggs done. They were still edible. They were still delicious. They had salt and peppers, but I used to season them. I just didn't like that. It was just a little bit hard for our liking. But other than that, it was a simple and quick way to go ahead and cook them up. So maybe next time I won't cook them as long. Alright, so it's time to go ahead and call it quits for now. Head upstairs to get ready for church. So I'm just simply showing you guys what I have left to take care of. So I have the sloppy joes here, and again, when we get back from church, we'll throw them in the oven. We have some of the sloppy joe that's left over, and I'll throw that in the refrigerator for the kids to eat throughout the week. A little bit of bacon left, and then that's the pork chop that I did not finish. Y'all, it was just so huge. And then again, I had that coffee, so yeah, didn't finish it all. I have my pan out so that way I go ahead and get my chicken going when I get back from church. Pork chops that'll be for dinner tonight. And we'll have potatoes with it, or the kids will have potatoes with it. Madison asked for baked potatoes, so I figured, hey, that's a good plan. A few dishes in the sink. Everything else has been washed, and we use our dishwasher, not for washing the dishes, but more so for a drying rack. The kids or the dishwasher. Alright, just like that magic of video making, we are home from church. Service was absolutely beautiful. Now guys, let me tell you something. We live legit 5 minutes away from our church, like a light over. Seriously. If you ask me, are we ever on time, I will have to answer honestly and say no. I don't even understand it. There's no reason why we should ever be late for church. It's legit 5 minutes away, but in true fashion, we are always late. It is what it is. Moving on. Church service was beautiful. Very blessed to be able to go to such an amazing church with an amazing church family. But now we are back home, and it's time to finish up the meal prepping. So I am cooking up some chicken thighs. I'm going to use a stir-fry sauce that I picked up from Trader Joe's. Now this was a recipe that I got from Deidre over at Slater's Debt. Quick side note, if you have not heard of Deidre, I highly recommend that you go over and check out her channel. She is amazing. She focuses on frugal living, all things mom life. She's a military wife, and they are currently working towards paying off their mortgage. They're completely consumer debt free, and she goes over all of her budgeting and tips and things like that. And she also does meal prepping videos, so definitely go over and check her out. Now, I seen in a couple of her recent meal prep videos that she did these chicken thighs using this stir-fry sauce from Trader Joe's, and I just had to get my hands on it and check it out. And let me tell you guys, OMG, this sauce is so flippin' delicious. It is not keto friendly, however, just a tad bit will not kill you. Oh my goodness, it is so delicious. What I did is just, again, I seared them up in the pan on both sides, and then I went ahead and applied the stir-fry sauce on both sides, and then I threw them in the oven for about maybe 10 minutes or so and let them cook up. And guys, I cannot say enough how delicious these things were. OMG, they were so good. So this will definitely become a staple item throughout the month for us for sure. Absolutely delicious. And again, this stir-fry sauce was from Trader Joe's. I'm sure you can find any stir-fry sauce that would be just as good, and probably something that would be keto friendly. This is not, but OMG, so flippin' delicious. Alright, next up is chicken parmesan. Now I'm going to throw some lard in my pan and get it nice and hot, ready to fry up the chicken tenders. Quick side note, how many times have we been told that we should not use lard as it will kill us? Well, keto says different, and I am here for it. So I'm throwing it in the pan, getting it nice and hot. I have some chicken tenders I picked up at Kroger's on markdown as well. I season them with some sea salt, black pepper, and Italian dressing. I may have threw in some garlic powder and onion powder as well. Pretty sure I did, as that's my typical go-to seasonings. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and make an egg wash. I have some Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to coat the chicken tenders in that, fry them up in the pan, and then I will transfer them over to a baking pan filled with pasta sauce. Now, we have, for whatever reason, 3 different types of pasta sauce open in the refrigerator. I have no idea why. I have no idea who did it. But so that we have no waste, I'm going to go ahead and use all 3 because they're each half a jar. It makes like no sense whatsoever. It could have been me, but I really highly doubt that it was me. Anyways, we're going to see what flavor we get, mixing them all in together. So I'm just going to fry these chicken tenders up, throw them in the pan with the sauce, cover them with a little bit of mozzarella cheese, cover it, bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes. And then that will be that. I will serve it with pasta for the kiddos and then veggies for me and the hubby. So spending a few hours, one day a week, getting things prepped has definitely been the way to go for us, especially this past week. This past week we were just so busy with so many different evening activities for the kiddos. We were down to 1 vehicle, so having meals already done in the refrigerator, all we need to do was place a side with it, warm it up, and dinner was served. It saves so much time, so much money because we did not go through the drive-thru. So I am super pleased with myself for getting all this done. As always, guys, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What are you prepping this week for your family? Do you prep at all? How do you go about saving time in the kitchen, saving your sanity throughout the week, and of course, saving your budget? As always, thanks so very much for watching. Definitely be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And until next time, guys, bye.